What is going on, family? Yes, here we are, better. Perfect. Hope you guys are good. Today is the Monday Talks, and yeah, back for another episode. I wanted to speak about a topic that is really dear to me, which is the idea that one must know how to keep their vision and ambitions to themselves. You see, more often than not, we are excited to share, our aspirations with people that we look up to, that we love, and that we hold close to heart because we feel like they are in the best position to probably understand what we're talking about, or even advise, or just sometimes co-sign what we're trying to embrace. And I'm here to say, learn how to keep quiet. I'm not saying anything new. Many people before me have mentioned probably this topic, certainly this topic. And I feel like it's important to remind the obvious. I feel like it's important to remind the fact that speaking about your plan, about your goal and your vision to a third party or to anyone is a little bit of a bad idea, especially if you've not been able to analyze truly what is their intention, because we can agree that a lot of people are excited to be calling you their friend, or my best friend, my this, my that, for as long as you are on the same level, right? And for as long as you're not shining too bright, that you're not growing too big. The moment things tend to change and you start shining your light in a different way, shit starts hitting the fan. Pardon my French, but let's call a cat a cat. And not everyone is happy, and not everyone will be happy, especially if you're somebody who's a dreamer and who has these great ideas that may sound sometimes even unachievable. That's the very point. Don't fall into the naysayers' philosophy, and make sure you don't give into that, simply because it will take you away from your realization. It is too easy to criticize somebody's ambition because you lack yourself the vision, right? And so why I wanted to touch this topic is because with the years past in this music, as a music producer, as a professional in this industry, now 18 years career so far, which is not much and much at the same time, I've noticed that, and I've learned to understand and truly understand that music is a spiritual thing. And because it's a spiritual thing, there are certain things you have to know how to keep to yourself. Because the energy will follow the words that you speak. And it can be positive, but it can also be negative. If it's spoken to the wrong ear, it will be obviously feedback to you as something unachievable, as something that's a waste of time, something that's not for you, etc., etc. If spoken to the right ear, to the right person, then it can become an absolute reality, and it can even be manifested as you speak about it. You can feel it, sense it, smell it, see it. Then that's when you know that your vision is spoken into reality. And as musicians, as artists, as singers, DJs, we forget to remind ourselves that music has to be understood and respected as something extremely spiritual and extremely powerful that cannot be played with. I will explain myself. Fela Anikulapo Kuti, the father of Afrobeat, said something that's very true and that I'm echoing here. Music is a spiritual thing. It's a weapon. And in a way, music has become a bit of a commodity because, unlike visual arts, which, by visual arts I mean painting, sculpture, etc., the longevity of the song is obviously much shorter, and it requires people to really be dedicated to your work, to want to be listening to your songs over and over and over. Eventually, if you do something that's relevant and that's good enough, it might last the test of time, and it might become something that's as valuable as a visual artwork. And because of that triviality, in a way, I think there's a bastardization of sounds, of how we look at things and how we look at our capacity to make a lot of great things happen for us, especially as independent artists. I'm not talking about those with big structures behind them, and even though it can also apply to them, of course, I think that the fact that we tend to approach our creativity in a way as something that's of mass consumption, in a way, because nowadays you cannot make just one song every 6 months, or every 2 years, or every year. You have to make music all the time. There is a bit of it's just what it is, Oh, I missed one song, it's okay, I'll listen to the other one that's coming next month. No. The sense of quantity and the fact that quantity is responding to a mass consumption and to a vast amount of consumers who are now needing to listen to new stuff all the time has pushed a lot of guys to forget about quality. And what I mean by keeping your plan to yourself is you can share a certain amount of information. You can share a certain amount of thoughts and ideas with people that you look up to, that you believe are worthy of your trust. But you have to keep a big amount of your things to yourself. As a creative, it's a must. Not saying that you shouldn't be talking. I'm not talking about the technical stuff like programs, plugins, sounds. How do you mix? That's fine. But there's recipes, there's visions, there's hopes, there's aspirations that as a creative you have. Whether it be having a song that that sounds a certain way and that you want the approbation or the co-signing of somebody that you look up to. Especially that's what I'm referring to. Sometimes it's not important. And most of the time, if it's people that are not on your same level psychologically, or even better, spiritually, you will encounter, once again, people who will take away the power of what you're doing for an instant, not forever, but for an instant, from you, right? And it can be a bit of a bummer, especially when you're excited. And I'm not saying something that's just okay. I'm talking about something that you really, really feel in your heart that is like super dope and has the capacity to like be a big tune in the clubs, etc., etc. Sometimes it's okay not to look for nobody's approbation. Just make your music, drop it, promote it to the best of your capacities, then let the people do what they have to do with it. I've stopped letting my work be heard by certain people just because I know that they have never anything good to say. Not because they mean wrong, but they will always have something. They will always have some criticism to make, you know. And I've learned to understand that they are entitled to them, and I respect their vision and personal perception on what they think you should be doing. I'm not saying that what they're saying or what they believe in is wrong, but you have to trust your process. You have to trust your vision. You have to trust your dreams. You have to trust your capacity. You have to trust you as a creative. And you also have to not lie to yourself and be honest enough to know when you're fucking up. Pardon my French, but as I said, let's call a cat a cat. So, keep your vision to yourself sometimes. Don't always speak about your dreams, your aspirations, and especially when it comes to us producers, singers, songwriters, musicians. Not everyone needs to listen to music before it comes out. Make it. If you believe in it and you think it's great, release it and let the people decide. And you will obviously have people who love it. You will always have people who don't like it. That's life. And continue. Don't let nobody discourage you. And don't stop dreaming. I'm a dreamer eternally. I believe so. And I am not planning on letting anyone killing that, you know. And if it means me creating music that is out of my usual box in which people may want to put me in, then so be it. You know, as long as it's vibrating with your truth and your reality at that moment, you just got to do what you got to do. On these words, family, a little bit of promo. For those of you who don't know, we just released, Keisha and myself, a song called Dedans that came out on Friday on all the digital platforms. Dedans is a song that we did for the African Cup of Nations, and it's a mix of French and English. And it's a cool track. I mean, I think we did a good job. Check it out. Dedans, Boddhi Satva and Keisha, Dedans. And obviously a lot more music coming out this month, as a matter of fact. Be on the lookout. And again, never stop dreaming, never stop believing in your capacity, and don't think less of yourself because somebody said so. Stay humble, yes, but don't take no shit from nobody. You can of course take advices. You can of course take criticism. It's important. Actually, as a matter of fact, it's very important to be able to listen to criticism, even if you want to slap the shit out of that person. But you shouldn't, because you know what? You need people. You need opposite forces to keep you on your toes, to keep you creative. All right? Thank you very much for your time. And as time goes, I'm certain that the amount of you guys viewing these videos will grow. This is a new thing on YouTube for me, and yeah, hopefully it's something that you guys enjoy. Don't hesitate to comment, and let's interact. All right, family, bless up. Y'all take care of yourselves. Have a blessed and very productive week indeed. Until next week, y'all stay good, y'all.